in the demo here. I have my Mac running macOS version 13 Ventura, as you can see in the screen. And now I am logging in as a standard user. And with the standard user, there are many limitations for me to do my daily work. So, for example, I open the terminal and doing the sudo command for running some of the shell script. I cannot do because I am not in the sudo group. I want to change some of the system configuration, such as adding the printer. The admin username and password will be required for this activity. Or even when I want to change the, let's say, date time information like this, again, the admin username and password will be required. So with the standard account, I cannot do the system configuration. Yeah. How about installation of the file? Let me go in one example. For here, I want to install TeamViewer for my daily work, right? I just download the file and install it, and I click on continue. The installation will require the admin username and password as well. So you can see there are many limitations for the standard user when they want to to use the environment for daily activity. So for that, right, let's go back to the EPM and how it can help me on my requirement. So first of all, right, in this Mac environment, I have installed the EPM agent here. The EPM version is 22.12, the latest one. And I will go to the EPM configuration page from here. By default, right, all of the policy we set to off like this. So uh, I would like to turn it on. First of all, I want to turn on to detect unhandled application which needs the privilege permission. So I just click on the on button, and before to go in, right, I will need to add this policy. So these are some of the policy we can set with the privilege unenhanced application. Uh, this is the notification we have when user runs the privilege application, and so on, right? So I left it as default, save it, and my first policy uh, is already turned on here. Now can go back to the Mac environment and request testing to update the policy from EPM service. So you can see now the last policy update from this point of time. Yeah, that's recently. And now I will try to do sudo again. BIS, right? And you can see now I need to provide the justification. I need this permission for my job. Okay, of course, right now I cannot do because I just turn it on and detects the behavior. And again, I don't have the permission. So right now, just send the request. The same for system configuration. So let's say I want to add the printer. The same, you can see the notification here, right? I need to configure and adding printer. Okay, done. It still requires a username and password for admin because at this point of time, I just want to configure the system to learn about the user's requirement, right? And going to the deployment application installation, I just want to install this one again, run this again. I want to install this software. Okay, let's continue the same, right? So right now I don't have the permission. And from EPM perspective, it will gather all of the requirement from the end user and all of the requirement, all of the message from the end user like this will be sent to the EPM server. And from now in the EPM server, when I go to the events management and refresh it, you can see the request from the end user will go here. So for example, let me change back to the timeline. Uh, this user want to use BASS self-script. This one need to configure the printer and scanner. This one need to install the TeamViewers one. Actually, you can go to the event detail and see the detail of the request from the user from here. For example, I click on the events and you can see the detail. Yeah, I want to install this software, for example, right? From this page, you can easily add the request from the user to the policy by click on this button, and you can add the application to the policy or to application group, right? So let me add to the policy, and from here you can create the new policy for this requirement, or you can choose which policy you want to add in, right? So let's say I want to elevate this request uh, using a new policy. I click on the new advanced policy. Policy name is macOS. Elevate. Shut it up. Continue. And now you can see all of the definition of the application is added here. The target is on the computer set is on end user. Whenever they are running the application with the privilege permission, I will show them the notification using dialog. And this is the configuration of the dialog. You can see, right? And I can set the priority for this one as higher than normal and create it. So now you can see one of the policy as put here in the top with the top priority, right? When done for that, let's go back to the Mac environment, and from here, now I can request testing, check for the update, right? So last policy update just recently, and now let me choose the sudo. You can see now, right? Yeah, I can now go to the root account permission with the sudo command. My no, my current permission without sudo is standard account, right? With the sudo, I am using root. I am now can go. Let me do another configuration again from the event management. Now I will allow people to configure the printer and scanner together with install the team viewer like this. So I just go here, click on add to the policy, choose the right policy from here with the adjusted up, add to the policy. Again, I'm doing the same for the team viewer installation. Same, add to the policy. And after that, I can go to the policy here, check for the detail. So you can see I have two more attribute definition to add in for this policy. One for system preference and one for the packet installation. Actually, you can go and change all of the parameters here for more strict matching for the application as well. Okay, after that, let me save it and go back to the Mac environment. Request setting again to get update. Check for the update. Okay, that's recently, right? So now, let me go to this configuration and add a printer. So you can see the notification showing here, right? Click on OK, and now I can add the printer in. Uh, so as a normal user, I am now can adding printer as with the administration permission. And let's try to install the application from here. Click on, right? Accept, continue, and you can see now we see the notification from EPM agent. Click on OK, and now I can continue the installation step without providing the password for admin. So that can help you to provide the standard account to the end user, but still enough permission to them to do necessary configuration and admin tasks. That is for the for some basics demo on how to remove the local admin user and provide the permission to the standard user on the Mac environment. Okay, so now we will move to the next function of the EPM that support for the Mac OS is controlling the unhandled application. So the first one we have test for the detection of the privileged unhandled application. Whenever application running with the with which needs the privilege permission, uh, it will create an event here, and based on that, you can create some policy to allow that application to run, right? Mm, and so the next one we can handle on other application just run normal. So let me turn on this one detection. And for this, we can detect the launch of unhandled application. For the Mac environment, we don't have the notification to the end user. Whenever an application running, the event will send to the EPM event management center, so you can see the detail over there. So let's save it. And now we can go back to the EPM, get the update of policy, and then I will try to run some of the application from here. For example, I run the Chrome. I will try to run map. I will open Finding. I will open Safari, so on and so forth. So when you turn it on, right, all of those kind of application will be run as a standard permission as a normal user. But the event still be sending to the event management center. So let's go to the event management from here, refresh, and you can see, right, all of the launchings will be shown here, right? And from here, you can have an idea of which application is running on each of the user endpoint. And of course, from the centralized management perspective, we also have the application catalog. From here, you can see the list of application on all of your endpoint. So you can, based on this information, to create the right policy for your user. So let's say we are now look at the event here, and most of the applications, the legal application on the Mac environment will have will be signed by software signing. So with that, uh, create the policy to allow all of the application runs as normal, and we will block all other. So let's create one of the policy from here, add this one to the policy. It will run as allow, right? I will need to, I actually have the policy created already, so let me add in uh, macOS allow. It is inactive, I will activate it later, and I can click on edit in policy. I can remove this group. So now I have add the executable file, and I want to allow all of the software which side by software signing here. So I just move everything there, only put this one here. Done. So okay, I save it, and from the policy list here, I need to activate this policy again. So all of the application which signed by the software signing now will be allowed, and it will be add in the handled application already. The rest will be unhandled. So let's go back to the default policy, and I will change a little bit for the control unhandled application policy as this way. Okay. So from here, I will change to the additional policy from here, and I will block all unhandled application. So that means if the application is not in the list that I allow, right, I will block it. So it support for Mac OS, right? So that's turning on. And when I block it, I will show this notification to the end user, right? Save it. Okay, done. And now I will go back to the Mac environment, request accessing. And again, I can now try to with this one first. I try to open Chrome. You can see now, right? Chrome will be blocked. I try to open Safari. Let me close it first. Safari is running okay because Safari is application which signed by a software signing. Yeah, so now I can run almost all of the application in my Mac environment. But if I need to run the other application, such as Chrome, Firefox, right, or the other, I will be blocked. Right? Same for the Firefox, right? I will be blocked. Yeah, and if I want to allow the application to be run, right, I will need to go to the application here, go to the policy, and add them to the allow policy, or I can create another policy for some group of application that I need to allow for each group of user. So that is some quick demo on how we can manage the uh, privileged unhandled application and normal unhandled application with CyberArk EPM for Mac environment. So I will show you how to use EPM to provide just-in-time privilege request and approve for the Mac environment. So I'm demo on the Mac OS Ventura version 12.2, as you can see the screen. And right now I have logged in this machine with the standard user. So let me show you who am I. I'm logged in as a Hido, right? It is a standard user, and with ID information, you can see now I am uh, be add in some of the standard group for standard user. So from here, I cannot do a privilege command. So for example, I want to do sudo ls. I will not able to do because I don't have the admin right, right? And if I want to change some of the configuration parameters, such as changing the time information, right? I will be required to provide the username and password for this. If I try to use my account, you can see it is not work because I don't have the permission to do this. I need to provide the admin account here to do some of the configuration. And for my uh, needed, right? I will need to configure some of the configuration here or install some of the applications that requires the admin permission. So with EPM, I can request the local admin permission for a while to do my job. So to do that, right, I can use the EPM agent to request the just-in-time privilege permission. So I go to the EPM agent from here and click on the request administrative privilege. Provide the reason why I need. I want to have admin permission to do some configuration. Please give me access that permission in 1 hour. For example, click on OK. And now the request will be sent to the EPM. Now I can go to the EPM admin console and go to the event management. And you can see we have a new message here for the new request from user. I want to have admin permission to do some configuration, right? So to approve for the request, I just need to click on this button and click on create just in time asset and elevation policy. Uh, I can change the name here for Windows, and I can choose a time from 1 hour up to 72 hours, depends on the request, right? So in this case, I choose 1 hour. This permission will be terminated after when the policy expire. And now I can choose which computer sets that this policy will apply to. In this case, only this computer and this for the user only. And for the permission, I will need to determine which application, which user group I need to assign to the user. So for this request, I will assign him to the admin permission and create the asset, right? Create the policy. And now you can see a new policy within the user policy appears here for just-in-time permission, just-in-time policy. Back to the Mac environment. If now I waiting for the update from the agent. I can click on the request setting, and now I can see the message from the EPM agent. I have the temporary user permission granted with the administrator's permission, and this permission will be expired at this point of time. So from now, right, I can check for my permission here. Is who am I? I'm still the same account, but check for the ID information. Now as you can see, right, I am already in the admin group. So with that permission, now I can go to the, let me close it and open this again. I can go to the configuration, system reference, and change the time information from here. Let me click on this one. It will require me to provide my account. From now, I can use my account and passwords. And then, yes, I am now able to change the configurations, right? So that means I already have the local administrator permission for 1 hour.